my name is Caroline Poland, and I'm the founder and CEO of Poland and Associates Consulting. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the window of tolerance and how that impacts your life. So the interesting thing is we know that there are a number of contributing factors to anxiety and depression, and if that's one of your experiences, you definitely want to talk to a doctor or a counselor about that. But for some individuals, anxiety and depression are really adaptive coping strategies for one another. And so sometimes when we get too high into those anxious feelings and hyperarousal, our body will try to bring us back to center, and it will just overcompensate a little bit and pull us down into those depression symptoms. And so sometimes things like chronic anxiety and chronic depression are really, at least in part, about our window of tolerance and living life outside of one of those windows. So anxiety and depression really can be adaptive coping resources and strategies for one another. And I think that's where we want to get really curious and become a noticer and observer of our lives. And maybe that's with the help of a counselor, because we want to understand what's contributing to our mental health and our overall experience. And so we want to work hard to try to widen that window of tolerance so that we can handle increasingly more difficult emotions and experiences, so that when we are having a difficult or uncomfortable conversation, or when something's going on and we have to attend to work or learning, we can navigate all of those because that window of tolerance has widened. I think that's really normalizing. When we can understand what's happening in our bodies, we can understand why our brain is doing what it's doing and pulling us a certain direction, why we're having the feelings that we feel. We don't have to feel like we're crazy or out of control anymore. Suddenly we understand that it's simply just our body, instead of doing this, has gone a little bit more up and down, and we can work to widen that window of tolerance and work with our biology instead of work against our biology, so that we can widen that window of tolerance and regain that balance between our prefrontal cortex and our amygdala that we really need to live a successful life. And so understanding biology is so critical just for our mental health and our well-being and our decision-making as a whole. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Poland and Associates. My website is polandandassociates.com, and subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you won't miss future videos.